Converted man here?
It's the converted man.
Converted man here?
How can I be happy? Some atheists known as humanists believe that the purpose of life is to be happy. They believe that meaning in life is created from what you enjoy most, whether it be your family or your career, or even simple pleasures such as cooking or indeed gardening.
Even though I couldn't find anything to suggest that secular humanitarianism is about being happy at all, I looked it up on Google. Google's definition didn't say that. Secular humanitarianist websites didn't say that. Even found a Christian page that basically said it was a religion and a worldview, and they didn't think it was that. So, even though I couldn't find anything that says it's that, let's just pretend that that's totally what it is, because it's important to our straw man here. Okay, so it's about being happy. Here's things that could make you happy. I like how the guy's like, even gardening. Like, what? Why would you... I mean, what? Now, obviously, the obvious thing to have put in this, but they couldn't put it in there, but I think they wanted to, is something else. You know? You know what I'm talking about. The thing that makes you happy? Watching my videos. Totally what you were thinking about, right? No? Okay.
They believe that there is no God who created us, and no purpose to our lives beside what we enjoy most.
And here's the citations where they said all this.
The problem that believers in God have with this view is that this is exactly what we believe is wrong with the world. The deforestation and destruction of our planet is a perfect example. The companies involved in deforestation do so because it is money that makes them happier than taking care of the environment.
Now, the title of this video is Secular Humanitarianism Refuted. But you haven't refuted anything, even if it was what you said it is, but it isn't. Even if it was about being happy, it's just saying, but that's not what we think. We think it's not about being happy. That's what's wrong with this world, is trying to be happy all the time. So what? Who cares what you think? That's not refuting something. That's not how you refute things. But let's complain about this stuff, and now we're just going to drag in money into it, and now we're going to drag other things into it, like companies. Money makes them happy, and they pollute the world, and that's bad. And so them being happy or wanting to be happy is therefore bad. Appeal to consequence. Although it's much more complicated than that. But let's just dumb down the issues and go off on 29 billion tangents.
Is this, then, what humanism advocates?
No! No, it doesn't! Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night! Woohoo! I'm done with the video. What do you mean there's more? No! There can't be more!
Well-known humanists such as Stephen Fry would say that what is right is whatever limits suffering and promotes well-being, and what is wrong is the very opposite. But when we examine this position, we find that it doesn't really make any sense.
Okay, everybody. We're going to learn how limiting suffering and promoting well-being, and promoting suffering and limiting well-being, is something that doesn't make sense. This should be really, really good.
This is because, though humanists do believe that such crimes are wrong, humanists also believe that the notion of right and wrong does not exist outside of our own minds. They believe that there is nothing outside of us that determines what is right and wrong.
Alright, so there's a number of problems here. First of all, one guy who happens to be of this group saying something does not necessarily mean what that group is also saying that. But the other problem is, even if you're right, which you might be, I mean, some secular humanists might agree that objective right and wrong don't really exist, at least not in the way that you're talking about them existing. But once you have a value or a goal in mind, then you can derive objective truths based upon that goal. And here in this simple quote is that goal, which you can derive objective ideas from. Does X promote well-being? Yes. Then let's do that. Are we limiting suffering by doing X? Good. Then we're on the right track. No, it doesn't promote well-being. It actually lessens well-being. Then let's not do X. And it doesn't matter whether or not that's objectively good in a bigger sense, because you've said our goal is this, and objectively, to get to our goal, we know what to do because we can determine what promotes well-being and what doesn't. But we're not going to understand this quote because that would ruin our video. Alright, I'll just record on top of what he's drawing here because it's more of the same. Everybody has a different idea about what's right and wrong, therefore there's really no right and wrong. We're going to ignore the fact that everybody has a different idea of what's right and wrong because it would hurt our video. Hey, your video's just contradicted itself. You don't seem to care. Yeah, sure, we're all unique, but also we're the same. You see? Because yeah, sure, we all have different ways of thinking, but we're all the same, you see. So we don't have different ways of thinking, even though we do. But let's ignore that. We're all the same. We're same.
Believe that each person has a different notion of right and wrong because they believe that each person is unique in tastes, priorities, preferences, and indeed in our goals. While no one denies human uniqueness, humanists ignore the fact that the vast majority of things about us are the same. For example, we all share DNA as the building blocks of our lives. The chemical composition of our bodies and minds are identical, and the basic necessities of life, such as...
Wait a minute. Did he just say what I think he just said?
The chemical composition of our bodies and minds are identical.
I think that everyone that knows anything about science out there just exploded in their chairs and is now furiously typing in the comment section below about how wrong this guy is, why he's wrong, and I will have to read through long walls of text explaining why this guy is wrong, and the only thing that I can say at the end of that long wall of text is, yeah, good job, gold star, you got it right, this guy's really, really wrong.
Many psychological concepts such as goodness, love, friendship, justice, and equality are similarly shared. No one needs to go to university to learn these. Rather, we know what is right when we see it.
This is a common trope in apologetics. We just absolutely know what's right and wrong from the start. It's not like we develop these ideas by mimicry at first and then through education. Your parents or guardians or whoever it is that's raising you, those are the people that, for better or worse, influence your development. Those are the people who formulate your very early ideas of what to do or what not to do. And them telling you later on in life to do or not do things, whether they just say don't do it because I told you to, or whether they say don't do it because doing that would lead to this consequence and that's a consequence that could harm you or whatever. Either way, they have to tell you that. You don't just know it. And no, you don't learn it at a university necessarily, because that would be way later in life and that wouldn't make very much sense. But I guess you could learn ethics at a university. But the ridiculousness of the rest of this video is, of course, just harping more about that there's no right and wrong. You can't tell that Hitler was bad because there's no objective right and wrong. But going back to that quote, yes, you could say that it's right or wrong in the sense that it doesn't lead to your goal. Your goal is to lessen suffering and increase happiness. So you're increasing one person's happiness, but decreasing a lot of other people's happiness. So you're not increasing the maximum number of happiness that you could be, therefore you're not really reaching your goal, therefore it's wrong in the sense that it's not getting to your goal in the maximum, most efficient manner that you could. Which is all based on their strawman construct that secular humanitarianism is about being happy, which I haven't found a single thing that said that that's what it's about, but we're just gonna, again, pretend that that's what it's about because otherwise it would ruin their entire video. So, yeah, that's it. There's more video, but it's just, again, it's more of the same, and I'm not gonna repeat myself over and over again, which you'll see that I totally don't repeat myself in my blooper that's going to come up after the end credits here. Thank you for listening, your time and energy, and post your comments and questions and concerns and your wall of text explaining how wrong this guy is in the comments section below. And I'll see you in part 4. I won't actually see you. You'll see me doing this. You know what? I'll just end the video now. We don't have empirical evidence, repeatable tests, blah, 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 blah. Of course, what he is saying is not true. We don't just know what's right when we see it, and we don't just know what's right when we see it, or we just don't know what's right when we see it. I just said the same thing 3 times in a row. Ugh.